Let's go.
All right. Welcome back to Cammack. In the last session, our protagonist quested for a source of firearms and found the city's only gun dealer. After seeing him on the verge of being run out of town by a crowd of protesters, they made use of Augustyn's vast wealth to purchase everything in his entire store and then make an offer on the building itself. They then picked up supplies for the Tremere chantry from a local magic shop, where Augustyn's magical acumen was put to the test by an unexpected occult pop quiz, and he completed that night's shopping spree by purchasing every item in the mysterious restricted section of the store, including 3 vials of invisibility potion, a wand that can fix broken items at the cost of breaking other nearby items, a wooden hand said to be a defense against vampires, and a canteen and Ouija board with unknown magical properties. It's about 10:30 p.m. on a Sunday, and the gang has just climbed aboard Darby's El Camino, with Augustyn having just hucked the Ouija board into traffic and accidentally broken one of the vehicle's headlights in the course of using his new wand of repairing to reconnect the vehicle's unusual passenger side brake pedal.
I called it the monkey's paw of repair wands in my notes.
So, Darby's in the driver's seat. Were you all on your way to the chantry?
Oh, doesn't Augustyn have a thing where he has to go to the chantry?
Yeah, he's like in trouble, right?
He has to get the items and return the items to
Yeah.
the chantry.
I think he feels like he's in trouble and has communicated to us that we need to go do this Tremere stuff, because we're about to go on a combat mission to the sewers.
Let's drop off Augustyn so he can have a training montage while we get to kill guys.
That's right. He's going to be less effective unless he, like, Ouija's someone to death.
While having not directly said so, I have fervently implied that I am in great doo-doo, as you would say. I tap on the back of the back window of the El Camino on Archibald's side, and I screech, "Excavo! Punch it!"
Yes, Augustyn, would you like to hear a new joke that I've just come up with? I shout out the window.
That's your definition of punching it, is to do a punch-up?
I'll do a punch line. How's that? I've just written this new joke. Augustyn, hey Augustyn, what is a window washer's favorite occult item?
Damn you, son! Punch it!
It's a squeegee board.
Damn you, son!
Does not laugh.
Punch it!
Okay, I punch it.
I do.
I do the thing.
I look forward to finding out what sound effect I put into that long silence.
Right, yeah, I think Darby, just to save the prince from the embarrassment, just floors it in that moment so everyone is distracted, like a total bro. So yeah, I do, in fact, punch it before that joke can linger too long.
You wind your way through the city, eventually arriving back at the Tremere chantry.
Any Bambalance incidents on the way?
You don't notice yourself being followed.
Excellent. All right. Well, hey, handle your business, plant guy. Let's go. We got business to attend to in the sewers.
Do we just let him go? Do we stay here?
Well, I don't know if they're gonna want us to watch whatever conversation they're gonna have to have. So
I'm not interested in watching any of that.
We chill.
Leaving my personal magical gulag in the tailbed mullet of this El Camino.
Is that the word you want to use for that?
Gulag?
I think both are wrong. The first one's worse.
I remember you getting the Ouija.
Your magical prison.
Remember you getting
your little Azkaban that you got there.
I don't remember you getting a Siberian prison at the occult store.
I leave my items in the mullet of the El Camino, and I collect exclusively the things I was sent to grab.
No, you cannot just pass right by that. The mullet of the El Camino, that is such a wonderful term. Did you coin that yourself?
I collect the items that I was sent to get, but in like a hunched over, like, reek-ish fashion that, like, you don't oft see my self-confidence dip. I'm just like goblin hoarding, like.
You know, if you bend over your items like this, it looks more suspicious, right?
Yeah, I'm just like definitely enjoying this in the mirror.
Have it in a bag.
I panic scurry to the door and knock. And like, as I'm waiting for a response, I like kind of try and present the items while holding all of them simultaneously in a way that's like.
So then expose them outside anyway, after sneaking towards the door.
The door opens and Elizabeth Blackburn answers and looks down at all these items and looks really pleased to see them and to see you. She says, Augustyn, it's great to see you.
Likewise.
Please come in. I'll show you where these items are stocked in the basement. Are your companions going to wait in the car?
Albeit very briefly, we have incredibly urgent matters. I do apologize for our miscommunication. However, I do intend fully to make amends. Please do show me whereabouts these items belong, so I might begin that process of making good upon you.
Did he just say make goo upon you?
We can't hear. We are not.
Whoa.
We did not hear him embarrass
I
himself
don't know
like
how
that.
loud he is. I don't know.
Excavo sense.
You have heightened senses. Did Excavo hear that from the car? Did his heightened senses good enough for her to have eavesdropped on that sycophancy?
Everyone, I just had the most peculiar sensation of goo. I know how to recognize it. It's one of my vampiric powers.
Good.
Oh, my mistake, Darby Excavo. It was good that I heard.
You need to use your diction with the good.
Gonna step right past that. Elizabeth puts a hand on your shoulder and gently guides you inside, and then starts leading you through the chantry to some stairs down to the basement. And she
Feeling like he's off the hook, he is just like striding with a grin. Just.
You get that vibe from Elizabeth. She sort of does a lead the way thing down the basement stairs. The two of you descend the stairs, and at the bottom of them, you see the familiar trappings of a Tremere occult workspace. The luxury of the first floor disappears and is replaced with dirty, blood-stained surfaces, grotesque jars of body parts and other ritual components, the unnerving sounds of small creatures skittering just out of sight, and an atmosphere that would induce dread in anyone not already acquainted with the gruesome, dirty, inelegant side of thaumaturgy. Leslie stands up from a workbench where he has been grinding something in a mortar. As you look around and take in your surroundings, you see a small, blood-red humanoid, no more than 3 feet tall, peek out from around a corner, bearing horrifically distorted features as if it were cobbled together from mangled corpses. As you're gazing back at it, you hear Elizabeth cast a spell behind you, and you suddenly float a foot off of the ground and feel your arms held tightly in place. Do you react to this?
What witching sorcery is this? I wish to pet the blood midget.
I want to make that this episode title, and I also don't.
No.
Yep. No, I think it's an offensive term.
We don't need that kind of attention.
No,
They're blood dwarves now.
You'll have many more opportunities for other title-worthy one-liners. You struggle, but it seems that you can't escape the telekinetic hold that she has on you. You manage to turn your head to look at her, and with an apologetic expression, she holds up her hands to maintain the spell, staring at your back instead of meeting your gaze. A simian creature with Leslie's face scurries up to you and jabs a thick needle into your thigh. It's connected to... Correct, yeah. It's connected to an absurdly large syringe, which the creature operates to draw a point of blood out of you. Leslie approaches you and glares deeply into your eyes and says, "You're going to perform a ritual with us." you find yourself suddenly filled with a deep sense of obedience, and your body relaxes, and your head nods reflexively. You feel your feet gently contact the floor as you're lowered back down and released from Elizabeth's telekinetic hold. Over the course of the next 15 minutes, you robotically assist Leslie and Elizabeth in preparing a ritual that is unknown to you. You cut your wrist and spill a point of your blood into a large metal bowl where Elizabeth is burning scraps of leather to ash over a black candle. Leslie then empties a small vial labeled Tears into the bowl, and you use the combined concoction to paint a circle of occult symbols that have already been diagrammed out for you on the floor in chalk. In the center of this circle rests a hand saw and a grapefruit spoon, both on a metal tray. Leslie teaches you a chanted incantation, which you begin to speak in unison with him. After the painting of the diagram is complete, Elizabeth casts a spell in your direction, and you feel your body once again seized by telekinetic force. Leslie picks up the saw with one hand and grabs your right forearm with the other. Slowly, he saws through the flesh and bones of your wrist. You feel a bizarre, painful tingling that comes in waves where your limb is being cut through, and the symbols on the floor around you seem to pulse in beat with this strange feeling. You take 1 level of aggravated damage. Leslie pulls a small object out of his pocket and shoves it deeply into the flesh of your forearm through the stump. As the saw becomes smeared with your blood and the sound of tearing flesh fills the basement, it suddenly stops and is followed by the quiet slap of your severed hand landing on the floor. The tingling feeling stops, and Leslie places your hand in the bowl. He then sets down the saw and picks up the grapefruit spoon with one hand and holds the back of your head with the other. He plunges the spoon into the side of your eye socket, twisting and swiveling it to sever the muscles around your right eye. Your eye feels the same strange tingling as your wrist did, and your vision goes blurry in that eye, then ceases altogether as he pulls it out of the socket, snapping the optic nerve. You take another level of aggravated damage. Leslie drops your eye into the bowl and begins chanting over it. He indicates to you that you should chant along with him, which you do. The remaining blood in the bowl slowly starts to bubble, and the thick smoke of burnt leather starts billowing out of it, despite the flames having already been extinguished. Leslie stops chanting, and you also fall silent. Elizabeth releases her hold on you, and Leslie tells you that the ritual is complete. It's then that you notice that the vision in your right eye is not entirely gone. You can faintly see blurry patterns of light through your right eye despite it being plucked out. Leslie bends down and exhales sharply into the bowl, dispersing the smoke. You suddenly see his face very clearly through your missing eye, looking down at you. He reaches into the bowl and pulls out a ghastly creature. It's your own hand, twitching and shifting, with your own eye melded onto its stump. You quickly ascertain that you can see through this abomination, as well as move it, as if it were still attached. Leslie hands the thing to Elizabeth, who places it in a small animal cage with several notebooks and pens inside. He then says, "Augustyn, you will work off your debt to us by writing down your knowledge of the green path. You will also meet with Elizabeth for at least 1 hour every night this week to train her. If you do this, your debt and recent acts of insubordination will be forgiven. If you do not, then you will be considered rogue and cut off from access to this house. Rejoice, dear Augustyn, for you have been given a path to redemption. Now, thank your elders." Augustyn? What do we say?
With my one functional hand, I'm like, I do have full agency over my body again.
Oh yeah, no, it's you again.
In general, cool, awesome. I visibly like am collecting self.
Augustyn, thank your elders.
This hardly seems like the kind of.
Augustyn?
Thank you, kind elders. Might I beg a question from my superiors?
Certainly.
Upon the completion of this redemption, might I get my goddamn hand back?
Well, you can regrow your hand at your own leisure. Also, if you would like this thing back, then sure. As a bonus, you may have it back. You are led back upstairs, but you retain the ability to see and hear through your severed hand, and you gradually become acquainted with your ability to will it to crawl around its cage like a spider, though there's nothing to do inside this little prison but use the pens and paper provided to begin composing a lesson in the green path. The results of this scene are as follows. You have lost 2 blood points. You've taken 2 levels of aggravated damage, putting you at the injured health level and imposing a dice pool penalty of 1 on top of your existing dice pool penalty of 1 due to your most recent nightmare. Your right hand and eye are missing, and the difficulty of perception rolls will be increased by 1 until you regrow your eye. But you will now have to spend less time teaching Elizabeth Blackburn the green path, since she can study your notes ahead of time. And finally, you can add the ritual Rootor's Hand to your character sheet. You normally wouldn't understand how to perform a ritual by just assisting with it once, but thanks to your photographic memory, all of the details of what just happened are now locked in your mind forever.
So she leads me out.
Yeah, and you are all kind of on your way out the front door, unless if you have a reason to linger in the chantry or speak to them anymore.
Is there? Oh no, I am like just quietly subordinate. I'm not speaking in Augustyn tone aside from that last outburst, but like a cat with its tail tucked between its legs fearfully, I am just like shepherded out and otherwise fucking mutilated. Question: would I know whether or not they have any ability to like hear what I say outside of the chantry? They put a thing in my wrist.
True. I think that any Tremere would have the suspicion that other people in the clan, especially their elders, might have some means of spying on them, but you don't know anything specific.
Okay. I am successfully shepherded out of the building and reacquaint with my compatriots.
Augustyn, you look a little bit different. Did you get like a haircut in there or something?
No, his fucking eye. And
I promptly...
Your hand.
I didn't even know vampires did LASIK.
God.
Looks great, man.
I wordlessly get back into the... I struggle back into the mullet of the El Camino with my one fucking good hand. And I grab the wand of repairing and wave it at my wrist.
No.
You don't notice anything happening. It doesn't feel like any magical thing got invoked.
Can you
Don't
only
do
use
that.
it once
You
per
might
day?
take my hand.
I do it one more time.
No.
You got to know the fake Latin words to say as well.
It'd be funny if it like
Leviosa.
got one of his
Leviosa!
hands back and then took his other hand away.
Levinosa.
You don't notice the wand.
What happened to you in there, boss?
So Darby, now that Augustyn's back, what do you say we go conquer the subway, man?
He's not all back.
I don't know. I'm not sure Augustyn will be able to give us a hand.
I get it.
At
It's
this
a
point,
joke.
they just hear like a... And I just kind of like fall flat on my back in the back of the fucking El Camino, just like staring blankly at the sky.
Augustyn, should we drop you off at home before we conquer the sub? I thought you wanted to do it with us.
I am starting to drive towards the sewers in the El
Augustyn says
recklessly fast.
nothing either in protest or in support of this motion. Augustyn is just fucking silent in the back of the El Camino.
Wait, since you're driving really fast, is it like hitting a bunch of bumps and maybe like making Augustyn hit injured parts of himself against the side of the trunk?
I am not intentionally like jostling the back of the El Camino, but it is very possible that with his decision to expose as much surface area of his body as possible to the ground forces of the El Camino, that it is not a very fun ride back in the mullet that he is laying in. So yeah, I think it's probably pretty uncomfortable. I haven't tricked it out with any padding or anything, so it's just stock.
Oh, if you had hydraulics though.
Oh, that'd be so dope. Or like some leopard print. I don't know. Darby's imagination's going wild. Either way, none of that exists, but it's probably a pretty bumpy ride.
I just imagine in later episodes you're gonna literally get like a decal on one of the tire well benches in the tailgate that just says Augustyn's seat. It's like a gift, but also a curse.
Like a chalk outline of where you're laying down right now.
And of course, there's only one hand to trace around.
After you install like a gunner's seat in the back, that's gonna be a pretty good seat though.
Yeah, that'll be the irony of it. That it's actually the best seat in the house that Darby has.
Oh, the eye! Oh.
But the 50 caliber cannon thing, it needs two hands to operate. So
and depth perception, probably.
Yeah.
We almost had something beautiful there. Darby shakes the thought away and continues to drive toward the sewer entrance that we know about.
Okay, you park
Augustyn,
near.
do you share with us what happened?
Oh yeah.
Does Augustyn tell us what happened?
I am not
or
saying anything. I am just like...
Okay, so we just don't know.
It's just Tremere. It's Tremere stuff.
Okay, so we don't know.
I feel like Darby has seen this before. Not surprised at all that you are in trouble. Just like, scary wizard shit. I tried to warn you, boss.
It's not for like lack of information within what I'm saying. I'm just saying nothing.
Oh yeah.
Right. Okay. I just want to know if we knew or not what happened to you.
We're just all satisfied that you're like quiet for once.
And in Augustyn's contemplative silence, he thinks about the silver linings of his situation. One being that he will actually have to spend a lot less time teaching Elizabeth Blackburn the green path. After he does that, he will be able to learn other paths of thaumaturgy from the chantry. Also, he now knows a ritual that lets him like multiply and disconnect his hands and use them as little spies, extra sets of eyes and ears. So he can do this ritual voluntarily in the future and have like a little buddy that could scurry around and scout for him or do whatever like a hand can do.
So
I see this as a complete win.
So while he's growing back this limb, is it like Deadpool? He's gonna have like a little baby hand that sprouts up and then grows like that.
I don't think that's how it works.
If he doesn't
like,
heal,
how long does it take to grow back?
Formed.
Okay, so aggravated damage, you can heal one level of aggravated damage after you've rested for a full day and spent 5 blood points. You can heal more than that at the same time by spending another 5 blood points per level of damage and spending 1 willpower point for each extra level of damage. So if Augustyn...
I'll definitely need that information later.
Yeah, so if you want to regrow everything, then the moment you wake up, you'll spend 10 blood points and 1 willpower point.
It would kill me.
And
Plus 1 to wake up.
I do not have 10 blood.
Okay.
It would kill me.
Yeah,
you actually
have, like, 4?
currently... Correct, he has 4. Making him, at the moment, hungry.
He's hungry. Yeah.
Hungry and injured and defeated.
It's not the best day, and traumatized by a nightmare.
So, and what was the added penalty I'm suffering?
You currently are at a -2 dice pool penalty.
Now, was this a waking nightmare, and therefore
Oh baby. I'm having fucking thoughts. Well, I'll meta talk out of this, but
Correction, I said you were at the injured level. You're actually at the hurt level, so one better. Okay, so you park near the Nuker Technologies building and drop down into the storm drain. You follow the storm drain to the tunnel that was dug through the earth by the Nosferatu, who formerly inhabited the city. You follow this filthy tunnel all the way to where it breaches the walls of the MKT.
I assume we brought any necessary equipment with us, right?
We've been talking about how we were stocking up for this for quite a long time. We're all armed.
Cool.
I have my wizard hat, no doubt. I'm wearing my Roman wizard hat. And, you know, I think we all went in some detail about what firearms we wanted during the last game. So we're strapped up with that. So whatever melee weapons we took from the house, whatever firearms, I don't think we have any bulletproof vests. They didn't have any brass knuckles. So that's just as best as we got.
And everything that the Nukers said that you needed was just a password and a key. And Excavo has both of those.
Let's get it.
All right. In the MKT...
looking around in here, I remember part of finding our way around was supposed to be like following these electrical boxes and stuff. Do we see any of those from where we are?
After a little bit of walking, you do, in fact. You walk along the raised platform on the outer edge of the huge circular tunnel, following the junction boxes in the direction that Abraham from Nuker Tech told you to. After a very long walk, during which you occasionally pass the tall, empty shafts that lie below the track's secret access points, you spot a door in the distance. When you finally arrive at it, it has no sign to indicate what its purpose is, but you see the junction boxes on the other side of it installed in the opposite direction, confirming that you are in the right place. Excavo presumably pulls out the key given to her by Abraham and puts it in the lock. You hear a heavy deadbolt.
No, I don't do that.
Oh.
I'm just kidding. I do that.
You hear a heavy deadbolt disengage.
I wave her off before she turns the key, and I just want to listen, or have one of these hearing people listen at the door to see if we can figure out if there's any. Hey, hang on. Let's see if we can figure out what's in there before we rush in all blind. We expected resistance. We didn't see anybody yet. We don't know where the cameras are in here. Can you hear anything in that room?
Yeah, I assume we're going max stealth, right?
Everyone can hear pretty much the same thing, which is the sound of like a really loud ventilation system on the other side of the door. You hear like noisy fans going, and that's pretty much it.
I check for cameras somehow. Some way.
You look around and you have not spotted any cameras in the inside of the MKT at all.
All right, so I think Darby waves the prince over and tells Excavo and Augustyn to hang back and to be ready with their weapons, and just like, all right, let's hang on.
Yes, Darby, Yes, Darby, do you need to use my special key? And I hold the sledgehammer towards him.
No, I think we have an actual key, but we're we might need that.
I have the key.
Yeah.
I have the key.
So, turn and go.
Yeah, you're here.
Excavo, private conversation between me and the sheriff. This is a private conversation.
I'm second in command.
But, I'd appreciate it if you would respect our boundaries. But, okay, let's go in.
You hear a heavy deadbolt disengage as the key is turned. Excavo pockets the key and opens the door, leading the way inside. You walk into a small, stuffy room with a loud ventilation system and a motion-activated set of fluorescent lights which turn on with a faint buzz. The mainframe computer is housed in a tall black cabinet in the corner, with a monitor, keyboard, and mouse set up on a table next to it. Some thumb drives, pens, notepads, and other office supplies are scattered around on the desk. There's nothing else in the room other than a couple fans circulating air through overhead air ducts and a trash can with the remains of a few sodas and snacks.
Well, this seems easy. Excavo, do the computer things.
You kind of shove me from behind. I'm like, ugh.
Darby's looking around the
Like,
room,
do the
just doing a
computer
tactical
stuff.
assessment to the best of his ability.
Well, Darby notices that you are... there aren't any other exits to the room, so Darby would feel slightly trapped in the room, but it's a small room, and you've already surveyed all of it. There's no way anyone's hiding in it or can sneak in through anywhere except the door where you just came in.
I think recognizing that he is not going to be helpful with this part, Darby just goes outside the door and keeps...
As Excavo is presumably getting ready to do computer stuff, I go over to her and say, Excavo, in case the computer is password protected, I wanted to let you know that I brought my special password here if you need to borrow it. And I hand her a sledgehammer as well.
If you're...
I think Augustyn follows Darby and just like...
Just sets it down without a word.
So Excavo...
And I just have
go
a
ahead.
look of triumphant self-satisfaction.
Don't I have the password? Right? I just...
You sit down at a mainframe terminal, and you see a password prompt.
Don't I have the password? I just type it in.
You were given the password.
Okay, I type in the password.
But what was that password?
How far back was this?
This was maybe a half dozen sessions.
Notebook check.
You could do an intelligence.
The password is Poopy Pants. PEWPYPANCE, no space.
Oh, my camera's
Look
backwards.
at that.
You type in Poopy Pants, the password given to you by
Section
Abraham.
11.
A control panel and monitoring system for the MKT opens up, showing a diagram of the track and two moving dots indicating platforms in motion in the far end of the MKT.
No.
And it looks like they're slowing down
Platform.
and people are getting off of the thing. That's not... It
looked like Pong in my head.
Oh, I should have done a joke like that. It didn't really work for the layout, the circular layout of the thing, but yeah, you see two dots at the far. You just see that it's monitoring activity and things moving around, and you see a confirmation that it doesn't seem like any platforms are coming your way right now. You quickly explore the controls and find where the access code for remote access to the system is stored. It's currently a 32-character string of gibberish, but it appears that you can replace it with anything you want.
Do I have to say what I put in there?
Do you just put different gibberish in there?
Can I keep it secret?
Or do you
Yes.
megalomaniacally take the opportunity to put your own personal signature on this quest?
I will, but I don't reveal.
Okay, so you put a new access code in there. Do you retain this somehow? Do you write it down? Do you take a picture of it with your phone? Something like that?
Yes, I have a password app on my phone, and I use that to store the password.
Awesome. There's a pause as the change takes hold, and the cabinet housing the mainframe starts to churn loudly with the sound of hard drives and fans accelerating. You see the message, updating access code, ... followed by updating access terminals, ... and after a few moments, the process is complete. You then see a prompt to check for updates to the system's firmware. And you notice that the network directory that it begins searching is called experimental projects/stank loop, and that you can navigate up one level to access the other experimental project directories.
Ooh.
Okay.
If you hold up the piece of paper and it's
Okay.
dick butt, I'm okay. Do you take the opportunity to explore the other experimental project directories?
Oh, yes. Yes.
I was going to make you do a willpower roll if you said no. You see...
Yeah.
I can't. My willpower. I have to explore.
You go up one level in the network directories and you see 4 directories named Hot Air Baboon, Project Mobius,
Yes.
Stank Loop, and Stank Wing.
Hold on. Hot air balloon.
Baboon.
Moby. Hot air baboon. Right. Mobius. What was 3 and 4?
Stank Loop and Stank Wing.
A little bit of wing with some stank on it, I guess. I don't know.
Invented by Sir Avon.
Okay, I guess I check out stank wing.
The Stankwing directory has electronic schematics for some inscrutable mechanical device and test results for solar panels and the charging times for various battery designs. It's not clear what the device is, as all the documentation is broken up into small parts, such as a motor, a motion sensor, an interface with a satellite internet system, etc., with nothing explaining what all of the parts join together to form. Most curiously, there's a shortcut called controls, and it goes to an internet address.
Okay, what is the address?
It's a bare IP address that looks like you can just bring up if you want to.
Okay.
So
I do that.
So this shortcut labeled controls, it goes to a bare IP address with an extra authorization code in the query string. It opens up a web page that looks at first like Google Maps with a marker placed in New Mexico. Just an unnamed spot in the desert with a few aircraft runways and a hangar not far from it. But it has additional buttons for up, down, left, and right, and a readout of battery life remaining, current speed, altitude, and load. You also see a button labeled autopilot.
Is there some sort of view from this device?
All that you see is like a Google Maps kind of thing, just showing you a marker. The buttons call to you.
What happens when I hit autopilot?
A pop-up asks you if you'd like to send the Stankwing to your current location, or if you'd like to select a location on the map.
Super dope.
I don't know if I'm allowed to send it here. Might break the rules. I feel my blood would start to boil, right? It's like before.
No, this is exactly up Excavo's alley, sneaking around and stealing people's cool tech.
But I might not survive if I do that. I do have the information. I could find it later.
Do it.
No,
Do it.
no, it may break the rules. I might die.
What?
Do it.
Rules.
Well, I mean, we know from our history that as you start to approach breaking the rules, you get some physical...
I know, that's what I mean. My blood will start to boil or something. Like.
Oh, that's what you meant.
You could mouse over the choice.
Yeah, like we have a spidey sense about when we're about to get murdered by the rules.
Just die out of the blue.
I cannot send it here. I do want to send it. What if I send it to the White House?
What?
Do we not want to have a cool stank wing?
That's what.
Because that's how you lose a cool stank wing.
We can't. It's not here. We can't get it.
But you can send it wherever you want. Like right outside of town, if you're worried about technicalities.
Or Della Darby Manor.
It would be suspicious to. It would be suspicious really to send it anywhere. I don't send it anywhere. Never mind. I don't.
Or the gun store that we just bought.
That's in town. We have that stuff because it was in town.
I'll say your blood contract spidey sense doesn't seem to be tingling right now.
Get after
Are you
it.
Are you asking me to send it into the city? I feel like that would be very suspicious to have something coming in. I don't know how large this is.
What I'm describing is that there's a blip on a map, and there's a button labeled autopilot, and it pops up, and it asks you if you want to send the Stankwing to your current location or to select a different location on the map. That's all that I'm saying.
Here.
It appears that you can, in fact, send it to...
But I might die if I do that.
Because it'll hit you?
He literally told...
No, because we're bringing something in from outside the city. We can't do that.
He gave you the inclination, the as much of a nod from your storyteller as you can possibly get that was not going to happen. You were not going to get Deus Ex Machina
She would not do that.
Excavo also just ordered a bunch of stuff online to be delivered to Darby Manor.
I don't know where that was sent from. It could have been someone in the city. I don't know.
The terms of the blood contract that you signed were that you're not supposed to contact other vampires outside of the city or bring them in. But I think it was said pretty explicitly that you can be in contact with like the mortal world outside.
I don't remember that at all.
You
I
suddenly
weren't allowed to bring things
remember
people
that.
or talk to them. That's not how they were stated. That's not how the rules were stated. Well, I mean, I guess I don't have a choice. You want me to hit the button?
You have a choice.
I would have chosen no. She would have said no.
Okay.
That's what her choice would have been.
Then you have the option to exit out of the autopilot prompt, and
Right, she would say no. Because she knows that would be a big red flag falling from the sky.
Might be a little one. Might be a little quadcopter. A little cute one.
I don't know what it looks like. There's no drawing, no sketch.
Is there a
No,
way
she'd say
that
no.
she can hook up her computer to this like she did the surveillance stuff so that when we have more information, she could revisit this concept?
With the access code that she now has, she can, in fact, connect to the mainframe from an external
Right, that's
computer.
what I'm saying. She would save it for later.
Okay.
Yes, so I want to have access, but no, we're not going to bring it here. We have enough here.
This leaves, this is pretty much all that you see in the Stankwing directory. Do you check out the Hot Air Baboon, Project Mobius, or Stank Loop directories?
I gotta see the hot air baboon. I got to know. I need to know what that looks like. What is that? I opened that up.
It's what killed Avon Stank, remember?
Right.
I need to see it.
The Hot Air Baboon directory contains lab reports and disturbing pictures of monkeys in various stages of inflation. The most recent file appears to be a directive to employees to avoid discussing the details of the project with anyone and to tell members of the press that a statement from the company about Avon Stank's death is forthcoming.
Okay. There's not an autopilot for a hot air baboon, is there?
They have to be operated analog style, manually.
No. I go to Stank Loop. I don't know what that is.
The Stank Loop directory shows schematics for the transportation system that is apparently the MKT. Stank Loop appears to be what
Yeah,
Avon Stank
that's what I
called the MKT. But there's nothing unusual or unexpected in here. There are details about the installation of the magnetic levitation system, the ventilation system, expected power consumption, and the general layout of the nuclear fission reactor that powers it.
Okay. I go to the last, the Mobius.
The Project Mobius directory contains only one very large encrypted file. There's no obvious way to decrypt it, and the password used to access the mainframe, which is the first thing that you check, doesn't work on this file, but it may be possible to deduce its encryption method and brute force the password if you put several computers to work on the problem. Excavo would have decrypted files before. She knows the deal if she wants to investigate this Project Mobius file more thoroughly.
Oh, yeah. Yes. I want to investigate further.
Okay. Do you
I need more computers.
make a copy of the file, or do you just note that it's there
Yes.
for later?
I would just make a copy, I think. How large is the file?
Very large, just under the storage capacity of a big old thumb drive that you conveniently find on the desk. We'll say like a bunch of gigs.
Okay, so the thumb drive, I plug the bunch gig thumb drive into the computer and I copy the file to the thumb drive. Unless the file was already on the thumb drive.
No. The thumb drive was empty.
Is there anything on there?
You copy the file, the Project Mobius file, successfully. And it appears that you have fully explored all of the experimental projects.
Okay. Is that all I was to do here?
Yeah, your job was to change
so.
the access code so that you could then give it to the nukers so they can get remote access to the system and continue maintaining it. And you did, I guess, the
Yay!
first half of
Okay.
that, and delivering it to the nukers is the second half.
Okay. Yay!
Everyone else hears Excavo go, yay, as if she has completed her task.
Did I
Bon
see anything
chance.
during my watching from outside, or it was just quiet the whole time?
Bon
Yeah,
chance.
if you glance back, you would have seen the things on the monitor. You would have seen that she was kind of poking around and exploring a few things.
Well, back to the lab.
Yeah, I think we methodically make our way back out.
I need more computers. I think I just have a couple. I think I need more.
Darby's covering the rear guard. I don't know who's leading the way back the way we came.
All of you eventually get back up to the surface and emerge out the storm drain behind Nuker Tech. And you see that inside the building, the lights are on, and you hear the sounds of some nerds going to work.
Oh, did you guys see that Boston Dynamics made a dancing robot?
Yes, I saw those.
They probably got the
video.
idea from
Music
us.
video.
Graham keeps just predicting things.
They made a
in
little
the
music
show.
video. It's cute.
The
I
high-
stand behind them and I critique their work.
Yeah, let's go to the lab,
Like,
folks, and then give them the information.
Yeah, you.
When I get there, I probably stand behind them and go, very
This is-
interesting the way you're doing that.
This is what happens. So it's loud enough. There's like music playing and there are fans going, and Bartleby is doing something with like an angle grinder, and there are sparks flying around. And you see Abraham is on a computer with his back to you, and he's getting like really frustrated. He's trying to get something to work, and he keeps giving him an error message, and it's a really easy error to like figure out and fix from your perspective. You know exactly what he needs to do. And he's like, man, this dang thing, it's got me so nettled. In all of his nerd fury. Oh, bull honky!
I let him do what he's doing for a little bit and just watch.
It looks like he's never going to stop being stuck on this error that you know how to fix.
Okay. I do have these passwords,
He turns around
down.
suddenly,
but I
startled,
put that down.
suddenly startled by your presence. Oh, Excavo! What a pleasure to see you here.
Hello, I can't help but notice, what are you doing? And why are you doing it that way?
I'm trying to update my. I don't. A driver update. Something not particularly interesting, but I just can't. I can't quite figure out. It keeps giving me an error.
You have Solitaire open. Why are you not in the device manager? You open the device manager. Get.
Device
Take the mouse. Take
manager?
the keyboard.
And you
I go in there,
use
I update the
little known
times.
keystrokes to pop stuff open immediately, and you restart
Yeah,
the thing
Windows
that
R,
was frozen.
Control,
dev,
Shift, Escape.
mgmt.msc, and then that pops up your device manager. There you go.
He looks floored by your computer wisdom, and he's but many thanks, milady. I appreciate it very much.
Did he tip his
He says
fedora when he
"milady,"
said
and
that?
I literally go, ew.
He sort of like tipped his invisible fedora, and
Oh, no.
like did a little motion like he was like kind of curtsying a little bit, like, and then looked confused, like that's not what. Anyway, I need to ask, have any of you had the opportunity to take care of our little problem? Go on a little spelunking expedition?
Well,
Yeah,
have a
we
little
did. Yeah, we
solution
did
for
it.
you.
It was easy.
Oh, you did. Well, I assumed it would be easy for you. Well, excellent. Well, if you have the access code, then yeah, our work here is complete, and then we just gotta reward you for your time.
Yeah, give us money.
We can absolutely do that. And he looks expectantly at Excavo.
Can I pull Darby for a side chat?
You do that.
Sure.
Darby, as she's typing this.
What's up, boss?
Did that seem like way too easy to you?
Yeah, well, I mean, we certainly had prepared
Okay,
for a
it isn't the
different
Discord
kind of
chat.
adventure.
It's
But,
fine.
I don't... Maybe it was hard for her?
Is it like at all possible that this didn't actually belong to the Nuker Tech guys?
Oh, I'm sure it didn't.
Did we just do a crime for them?
Oh, I'm sure we did.
Well, they've kind of thought they were hiring criminals, so, I mean...
True.
Yeah.
I mean, if we get money for it, what's the difference?
They did say Ocean's 11, so...
I don't like those Tabata guys anyway.
Yeah, I really don't have any kind of moral qualms about what we did, and as long as we maintain access to the MKT ourselves, then...
Yeah, true. We do kill tons of people. I don't know why I'm having such of a moral quandary about the whole thing.
Where are your values?
Onion Jack's really gotten to you, man. I don't know. You haven't been the same.
Yeah, it's like I have real human emotions again, almost.
And your heart grew 3 sizes.
He's shown me
Yes. He said...
like
Ocean's
even though
11,
I'm not a
Mission
human, he's
Impossible,
shown me
etc.
what it means to be human, man. He's like
Abraham, we do have
he's like a
something for
much
you to
older
decrypt.
son.
Oh, sorry. What was that, Excavo?
Before I hand him this, I believe I would have also copied this to one of my own flash drives in case I lose this one. So I hand this one to
How'd you
him.
do that? Well, Excavo, assuming that the access code doesn't get changed, you know that you can get remote access to that mainframe computer, and through
So
its...
I could just pull it again anyway.
You
Okay,
could, yeah, you could
that'll
just
be-
download it
yeah.
a second time.
Yeah, and I guess even if they change the access code on it, we could
Well-
just walk in there again and change
Right.
it back.
Do I? Well, okay. Do I even hand it to him? Why would I? I don't need to give him the file.
What was your derangement again?
No.
Probably megalomania.
Yes, megalomania.
You would be compelled
Like,
to
I
really
could just
indulge in
decrypt
the
this
power
myself.
that you have in this moment.
And just keep it to myself, right? So I could.
Whatever
so I decrypt
makes
it,
you
and I keep
feel
it.
like the most important person in the room.
If it
So-
makes you happy.
Is there anything else we want from these people? Are
So
we set? I don't.
Abraham asks, the key. Don't suppose you'll need the key anymore. Can we get that back from you?
Okay.
Snatches the key and he walks away to put it back with some like key collection that's mounted on the wall. And he comes back. Okay, so the new access code. Did you take a picture of it or like write it down, copy it, or something like that?
It's in the Discord chat.
He
Yes, there is a new access code.
was that for me or not him? Is this supposed to? How is this supposed to be read out loud?
Le French brilliant et du fromage.
God damn it! So
Omelette du fromage?
Abraham asks you for the access code. What?
I would have written it, handed it.
Oh, and just hand it over. He says, "Oh,
Yeah,
this is. I can't tell you how much we appreciate this. We're going to get to work building a new access laptop that we can use to monitor and maintain this thing, so it doesn't turn into a big disaster
So what
under our feet."
I didn't really poke around in there. What is on there? Just
What is on?
What you get past the code and what's in there?
Oh, like what do we use the mainframe computer for?
Well, what's all on it?
Well, it's the control system for the MKT and some subroutines that keep the power on and kick on emergency generators if there's a power interruption. Things that make sure the ventilation system is on and like changes it a little bit at different times a year. All just kind of dry, boring stuff.
And there is nothing else on there?
Not on the mainframe computer. I mean, we pulled it out of the box, set it up, and that's all That's all it needed. I mean, there might be Minesweeper on there or something, but...
Does it have 3D Space Cadet pinball?
I don't believe it does.
Been dying to play that since the
Games,
mid
files,
2000s.
nothing.
Excavo, why do you ask? This seems like you. Why was there? Did you see something strange on there, or?
No, just seeing what all it's used for.
Well, that's pretty much it. That's just it. So, your SUV. Unfortunately, it's taken a while to get it fixed. It was damaged pretty badly late on a Friday, and then we've had the weekend. I talked to an auto body shop. We're going to get it in bright and early tomorrow, and they think that they can probably get it taken care of by Tuesday night. So give us another couple days, and your SUV will be spick and span, right as rain.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Oh, of course the money. I forget. Did we? Mm-hmm. And Abraham kind of turns to Candace and Bartleby, and it's like, did we talk about a specific price point for what we were going to pay this A team? Do you mind if I call you guys the A team? Like, I know I don't know your names, but it's just so
we prefer
perfect.
it. We prefer it, actually. Yeah, no, that's generally what we go by.
Abraham points to Darby.
The Archibald team.
Maybe that's what the A stands for. I don't know. Abraham points to Darby and says, "Okay, you're face man, because you're like obviously the smooth talker with good taste in cards.
Yeah.
She's Hannibal because she's like in charge and she seems to be like the brains of the operation. This other
you're really nailing it.
This other fellow in the tweed, this is BA because he's the muscle coming in swinging a sledgehammer and causing mass destruction. Mm-hmm. And then the other goes, "Oh! Dear God, what happened to your eye?"
Hey man,
Can we
don't
get
tell
him
you
an
how
eye
to do
patch?
your job, all right? You let us do our job the way we got to do it, okay? You told us it was going to be a challenge, and it was, and we expect some hazard pay after what we had to go through. Look at that guy.
Did that happen down in the MKT?
Can I make him an eye patch?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah. It was harrowing.
So your Howlin' Mad Murdoch obviously is going to get a little extra for the ghastly injury that he seems to have suffered in the course of duty. I see that you don't have your bear cub with you. I truly hope that it wasn't that nothing happened to it down in the MKT. But anyway, let's give me 1 second, and I'll go get some cash for you. I assume you folks don't take a check. Just 1 second. And he disappears off to a corner of the building. He goes into a little office type thing, and you hear the faint sounds of the dial on a safe being turned, and then safe door opening up. And a few moments later, he walks out with some like bundled stacks of bills, and he lays them out on a table, and he counts like 2, 4, 6, 8. There you go, $10,000, and he pushes it toward all of you. I think you'd be able to easily divide that up between the four of you. Is
this some kind of joke, Chief?
It is quite a lot, I know, but we want you to know that you're appreciated. The risks that you went to and all the work you put into it, that's yours to keep, tax free.
Those Tabatos got this guy's fucking eyeball, and you're trying to give us 10
And his hand.
Would you, Excavo? You gotta talk to these people. I can't. Wow. Oh my God. Darby just walks away, fully playing
He
up.
walks out. So.
Well, I don't understand. Is this insufficient for you?
Yes.
You hear Darby laughing.
Yes. We drive an Escalade. That alone.
Yeah.
Should tell you this is not sufficient.
Well, what would be sufficient, Miss Hannibal?
Wait, am I in the room by any chance?
I assume everyone.
Yeah, they've been.
Yes.
I think we're
they've
all
been
there.
talking
Yeah,
about
you're all there
your
except
eye.
Darby. He walked out.
Yeah, I've been pointing right at
What?
your gruesome injuries to try to get more money.
I slap my hand on the table or my absence of
Your
hand.
stump.
You see that?
Compatriots,
Ah!
See that?
might you and I have a private word?
Oh,
I don't think you need to be in private for this, but
I just,
certainly.
with my one eye, glare at Excavo. A private word, friend.
Certainly, and he leads you off
Your chance
kind
to
of
speak.
around a partition, and Abraham says, yes, what is it? He looks very nervous to be around you, and he's looking into your socket.
So real quick, how important is this guy to this organization? Like meta conversation.
This is the
he's
president
the head
of
it, right?
It's the president of Nuker Tech.
If he were to disappear, would that be like a
Yes,
catastrophic
that would be bad.
What are you
bad
doing?
thing?
This is why we should not let Augustyn go alone.
I have four blood points. I'm very hungry and very quietly very fucking angry. So like, you guys gonna be mad at me if I murk this guy?
Yes. Oh yeah.
Yeah, don't kill him. You get
Definite.
2 blood points
That's a conversation that should maybe
to
be
get it
in,
to fall
in
for
character.
you.
Okay.
Hey, where are you taking that guy?
We're around the corner. We're just around the corner.
What are you doing?
Can you?
Why are you doing that?
Hey, no, come on, man. No, please, we're doing business with this man here. You don't gotta hurt him. I'm sure he meant to make a reasonable offer. I don't think. Hang on.
Is this being
Let's
said
give him another
openly?
chance. Another chance.
Oh yeah. I'm trying to change the construal of what is happening to less vampire-y and more.
You are now a bad cop,
crimey.
Augustyn.
Yeah, that's right.
So I know we're around the corner, but I assume that he can hear you guys like, "Don't do it! Don't do it!" around the corner, eh?
If Darby yells at yes, he can hear it as well as you can.
Yeah, and we went out to stop you. Like we immediately pursued you.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, hey,
sniffing
come back.
out
You come
that
back.
you've taken some L's today, and that this might not be a great idea. And was like, hey, we're talking to that guy.
When we get around the corner, away from them, I can hear their echoes, and I'm just ignoring it.
I follow.
Yeah, we
follow.
were pursuing you. So I think
Yes,
this
we follow you.
may be opposed.
They turn the corner to find me very calmly. "Good comrade. There was quite a bit more than zeros and ones exchanged in the extraction of this bounty which you sought."
Oh, don't
Now-
try the tech jokes.
I understand that you think more money would be appropriate. As I've said before, just name your price. Like what is it that we have that you would like to make this right for us to be squaresies?
Okay.
Can us as a group talk without him?
Yeah. Hey, look.
It's funny because he already
How about
has
we do that first?
he already has infinite money. So
Yeah, why don't we just have them throw in those other 2 cars that they let us borrow and call it squaresies, was it?
and we have unrestricted
Another zero.
access to the MKT, right?
For all 4 of them, instead of just me.
We require all of your remaining vehicles. Including your personal vehicles, and 1 access card to the location.
Hang on. We can find. I don't know about that. Hey,
That's what I'm saying. We as a group should get together first and agree, and then talk to him.
Abraham walks away and says, you guys talk amongst yourselves and figure it out.
Right.
I'll be
Thank you.
back." And he
Are you
goes back to where
swelling your
Candace
nub
and
in me?
Bartleby are.
I say at least another 0, so 100,000, and I would like for each of us to have our own vehicle, so we can each get around on our own.
I don't know.
how to do it.
Personally, I'm an advocate for public transportation.
all right.
Okay,
Let
you
me-
don't want a vehicle.
hang on.
Okay,
let me,
fine.
look.
And also,
These
why are
guys
we only in
bleeding
it?
money
So-
out there, but hey, Bob, this is
100,000.
This is one of the corporations. They're sitting on the Capitol. if we're ever going to try to bleed them dry, I feel like this is way too sophisticated of an
By
argument.
God,
Anyway.
you're right. You've been borrowing my. I've been giving
That's
you
right.
books.
I've been studying. I've been
Giving
learning
books.
up on the message you've been preaching. These are the ones
So-
that got to go down.
You're absolutely right. Okay, we take the money on the condition
How much
that
money?
Nuker Technologies forms a labor union.
No.
What?
I say. At
This
least,
is my
I say
condition.
At least 100,000.
Instead of my car, I want them to unionize.
All right, so the 2 cars we got already, plus 1 additional car, and then $90,000 more in their original estimate.
And unlimited access.
Wait, let's. Can we subtract from that 100,000 the price of 2 cars? Let's be fair.
Those cars are easily
So-
worth.
Can we take them in equity?
Those cars are worth like $800,000 between the 2 of them. They're spectacularly valuable cars.
They're a struggling small business.
Right, but they probably are. I mean, they got a lot of money from the mob, but looking at all this equipment, they might be cash poor. So
You
everything in
remember
cash.
that the Nukers were told that they were basically given a blank check by Avon Stank to help develop the MKT, and then after he died, like the money is
Right, but he's dead.
still available to them. So you get the impression that they
Okay,
have.
so
I mean,
let's
I
do
would-
it on cash.
I would absolutely want to extort them if we were talking about extorting the capitalist, but he already died in a tragic hot air balloon accident.
His estate is still ripe for the plunder.
We do $1 million
True.
and then unlimited access.
No.
We already have a money tree.
Excavo.
Yeah, we have infinite money already. Like,
I-
why does it matter,
I
guys?
also have money, but I don't like to spend it.
Why?
I'm just saying, what are we fighting for here? All right, I mean,
Like-
is this pride?
We
Is
need the
this-
access.
So-
We need
Well,
the
that's
access.
the one that we could have just done. That was already. part
That's
of
what
the
I had
deal, right?
always
Well,
added in
hey, look,
to each
I
of my
wanna
offers was
keep
access.
These sweet ass cars. Okay, let's keep our eyes on the prize here. These are some very, very sweet cars.
We get
While
part
you're
of that,
talking,
we get
while
access,
you're-
we get vehicles
While,
and we get $100,000 in cash.
While you're arguing amongst yourselves, you hear a clatter, and you look over, and Bartleby is in the robotic exoskeleton, and he like clumsily knocked over a bunch of boxes or something, and now he's like bending over and trying to use the exoskeleton to like set the boxes back up.
Hey, keep that away from the cars.
Excavo, would it not be the ultimate power move to remove their vehicular maneuverability from them as payment? We do have effectively unlimited money. We could.
They also have unlimited money. I also have pretty much unlimited money. They could just buy more cars.
But then
Right,
they
they
have
could
to
buy
buy
cars.
more cars.
We need access.
Excavo starts to feel impatient with the whole situation.
We need access. We can get $1 million from these people, right? They have unlimited money, right? I mean, how valuable is that computer to them?
Then the negotiation is up to the lot of you. And I stride over to Bartleby, and as he's like clumsily fucking with the boxes, allow me, good sir. And I try and grab the box, a box with a nub and a hand, and like try and help resort, but also sort of sneakily, like if I can casually see what's in them while I'm helping him.
They are just full of tubes, full of tubes, boxes full of tubes.
Totally tubular.
Bartleby says, "Hey, thanks for helping me with my tubes.
Think nothing of it, friend.
I'm already not."
Okay.
All right, so I think we're settling on both cars and $1 million and
Both cars,
access
million
for all of us.
access.
Wait, how do we
Go
go
for it.
from 10,000 to 1 million? Whatever.
Well, we figured they have it, so we're gonna get it from them.
They have the money from
Capitalist
Mr.
pigs and
Snake.
all that. Hold your hammer. We might need to go and knock it.
All right, I guess I go back to Abraham, whomever.
He turns around and addresses you. Yes, Miss Hannibal. Have you come to a conclusion?
Who's Miss Hannibal?
That's the A-team analogy. You're Hannibal, Darby is Faceman, Archibald is BA, and Augustyn is Murdoch.
I'm too young for that. We have come to a conclusion. We're thinking a bit more in cash, maybe a cool 1 million, but also we need access. We need access to where we were just at. We need access to the MKT. And those cars, let's just call that part square. We keep those cars. And we get the Escalade, right?
Well, this is quite a significant increase over what we anticipated. Okay, so the MKT access cards, that's no problem. It'll take us a little while to hook up the machine that programs the cards, but we can get each of you a card. If you happen to, if like a Tabata gang member like sees you using it, that's going to be your issue, but we can get you the cards, no problem. Just, don't tell anyone where you got them, okay? The $1 million in keeping the cars, how about this? I think we can feel comfortable with giving you that amount of money and letting you keep our 2 most expensive vehicles. If let's say this pays for the 4 of you to be on retainer for us, and that means we get to call you if we ever have any similar problem that perhaps you can solve, and you'll agree to come back here and discuss that and hopefully do additional work for us.
Are we all around? Or what is everybody looking like? How do we feel?
I think
about this?
Excavo approached solo, but everyone else is within earshot.
We set our own calendar, but yeah, we'll be looking for future business.
Okay. And we're fixing your SUV too. Okay. Well,
right.
if this is good for you, then I suppose this is good for us too. Let's shake on it. Shake. And then he goes through all 4 of you, and does everybody shake his hand?
I just give him the nub.
He goes, oh God. Fair.
I
sorry.
want to discriminate with my disability. Shake my goddamn nub.
He's not feeling so very good.
He awkwardly switches from a handshake to a fist bump, and sort of like taps your stump.
Does that not hurt? Right on the...
Ow.
Yeah, you'd ask for that. That's just...
Terribly. Sorry. Okay, and I'll run off and I'll get your cash. And as Abraham runs off, Candace, who was within earshot, you hear her grumbling at him, giving him a little bit of shit for agreeing to the deal, but he just kind of waves her off, goes back to where the safe is, and comes back with a significantly larger pile of cash, which he drops onto the table and starts counting out.
Is it not a suitcase?
And eventually he counts out a full $990,000. And then he's just kind of looking at it like, be great if we had like a suitcase, but I'm more of a backpack type myself. I don't own a suitcase.
How heavy are these boxes of tubes that I just helped kind of
And
shuffle
why
up?
did you only count 990,000?
Because
Gave us 10.
there was already 10 on there.
I will let it slide.
There is exactly $1 million. The
Like,
they're PVC tubes. It's super light. It's just a few pounds.
With my one good hand,
just
Augustyn like grabs the side of one box and kind of just casually like dumps it and slaps the box next to the table and starts shoveling money off the table into the box.
Into the box.
Bartleby goes, but my tubes.
What do you do with a pile of cash? Do you not do Bitcoin?
But my tubes. Abraham
But
says,
the great.
Bartleby does Bitcoin. I think it's a bubble. I think it's all just libertarian fever dream. But that's just me. But by all means, use that box. Bartleby, we can find another place to put your tubes. My tubes. And you now have a box with $1 million in it.
Nice.
Ingenuity, friends. And I promptly, without offering the money to anyone else, pick up the box of money and just kind of march back to the El Camino.
They were going to say, I start running.
With unlimited money, just as a power move to
Your
deprive
depth
everyone.
perception's off. You're going to hit your face
Just
right down the
trying to
wall.
be a dick about it.
No. I'm just marching back to the El Camino with one hand clutching this box of $1 million.
And the moment I can, I just
Nub underneath
huck it
those
into
spots.
traffic. Just as hard as I can. I try and throw it on a roof somewhere. Ah!
So Darby
It's
goes
$1
up
million
to,
in the shape of a Ouija board.
Darby goes up to Excavo, and I think he's really leaning into his manipulation dots in the last couple of episodes, and the two of them have been just wheeling and dealing and scamming people very consistently. So I think he just kind of gives her a, yeah, all right, nicely done. Okay, I'll see you. All right, just a little sign of respect for the huckstering that they've been doing.
Yeah, frankly, it wasn't about the cash. It's just what we could get away with.
Yeah, it was the principle of the thing, honestly.
So now,
Yeah, $10,000 for what we've done. Psh.
Please.
in Darby's El Camino, there is a collection of weird magic items. There is a bunch of firearms, and there is a box of $1 million.
I look at all of this. I go, we need to unload. We need to unload the groceries somewhere.
All right.
We have to go back home.
Does Darby drive back to Darby Manor with all this stuff?
Yeah, I think so.
Let's go unload.
If at all possible, I attempt to convince Darby to make one last elongated-ish stop for me to, if we see a hitchhiker or something.
Oh, you need to feed. Yeah, we can be on the lookout for.
I'm specifically trying to get them to get in the car with us to come back to Darby Manor.
Oh, you're trying to snatch somebody.
In the bed of the El Camino?
It is canonically the mullet now, and I need you to lean into that. Darby loves that.
Please use the term mullet.
I think it's unlikely that you would find a hitchhiker on a random. I'm gonna say this is about midnight on a Sunday. I'm gonna say if I roll this and it's a 9 or a 10, you do in fact find a hitchhiker, and it is.
I'm
10.
typically the only hitchhiker in these parts.
Wow.
You got a 10. You find a.
Is it me from a few episodes ago still just wandering around?
That'd be crazy.
We don't do time travel.
That's where we draw the line in our supernatural story.
No, you see coming up on an intersection, there is a woman wearing Crocs and pajama bottoms, kind of a dirty shirt, looking kind of cold, and she's actively trying to flag down traffic.
As we're pulling over, greetings, friend. Would you like the comfort of human warmth? You are welcome to join us for the evening. We have plenty of places within our abode.
When you call it human warmth, that sounds suspicious.
She starts talking over you with what sounds like a really well-rehearsed thing, like, hey, I'm really sorry, I got to get across town. My car ran out of gas, but it's at home. I got a ride here, but I can't get a ride back. I'm real sorry. I don't have any money to pay you, but I just need a ride across town. Is that cool?
Well, with my stump in a pocket with my one remaining hand, I kind of just gesture for her to get in the mullet.
Okay. She pops in the back of the El Camino. Okay. Does this back
I hide my face.
of the El Camino still contain a bunch of like guns and money?
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Yes, but one of them is pointed at her.
One of the guns?
Yes.
You point a gun at her.
Couldn't she not just reach and grab another gun?
Yeah, she.
Yeah, why are we doing this? No,
she seems
this
to
is a
not.
bad plan.
Well, it's what's happening. She seems to not notice that you're pointing a gun at her, and she grabs one of the other guns. We're gonna say Archibald's hunting rifle, and goes, "Whoa, cool! You guys hunters or something? This stuff's not. My daddy used to have guns like this. I haven't done one of these in a long time." She starts messing with like the bolt action or whatever it has.
Cool, and the bullets are generally separated. We haven't like loaded all the guns.
I don't remember you saying that you loaded any of them. Correct.
So they're all empty. It's just a gun with nothing in it.
She's having fun looking through the scope. Just be like,
run.
woo, woo.
Friend, we are about to be traversing the open road. We do not wish to alert authorities to us, our existence. So we ought maybe you put it down.
Got it. Check
Please,
this.
Thank you.
And she like hangs the rifle out the side, like she's gonna drop it in the street. We gotta ditch all this stuff.
Alas, nay. We simply must not like elevate it to visibility.
She drops the
Please
rifle.
return it. Darby, punch it.
Slam on the brakes. She dropped it like on the ground.
Yeah, just in the
She dropped
street.
it out of the side of the car.
Yeah.
Yeah, Darby slams on the brakes.
The
Get
hitchhiker and
that
Augustyn slam
gun.
into the back.
Hey, dumbasses, go pick that up. And keep her quiet. What are you doing? Is this your first rodeo?
She says, What are we doing, y'all? Aren't we going? Why we stop?
I promptly hop out of the car and like shuffle over, grab the rifle, throw it back in the mullet, hop back in.
She gets out of the car too, and she's like looking around. What's happening?
Go. Go. I'm keeping my face hidden from all of this. Go.
Is Augustyn in the car yet? Who's in the car right?
Yes, he's in the car. She is not in the car.
She's just kind of confused and standing outside the car.
While she's not in the car, let's just go.
Y'all
We're
don't
not trying
vape,
to
do
dump
you?
this stuff.
Comrade, we are simply retrieving resources. Please, if you wish any shelter, return to the vehicle. We cannot leave our cargo. We need this. Just you do not.
I thought you told me. Okay, all right. Getting all confused. She climbs back in the mullet of the vehicle.
Thank you. Trying to monitor her and make sure she's not like flailing shit around. Yeah.
No, she's just fascinated with the guns.
All right, yeah, we drive the rest of the way, I guess. Presuming there's nothing eventful that happens.
She's kind of leaning over to try to talk to Darby through the driver's side window, and she's trying to give Darby directions to where she's going.
Darby's listening and nodding and just driving right to Darby Manor.
She's like, "Oh, yeah,
Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, wait.
Yep.
Hang on, I got turned around, and he's just like talking shit the whole time.
Okay. And she's so like half distracted by the guns that she's not alarmed by you pulling up to Darby Manor. She's kind of not even paying attention.
Cool. So do we arrive?
Yes, you are at Darby Manor now.
Yes, yeah.
That's where you want to be.
Alas, friend, we need to make but a quick pit stop. Google notification on our phones. There was no gas to be obtained between where we were and where we are. We have a gas canister in the garage. We simply must run inside. Would you care for a beverage? Well,
What are we doing?
Yeah, I mean, I like all kinds of skull. If you got chew, if you got vodka, I mean, that's my jam. I could take a handle or two.
I'm inviting her in to like.
What
All of a
are you
sudden,
doing?
Darby is very interested as well. Like, maybe she's his type. Like, oh, skull, you say? Well,
Why do we invite this person into our home? What are we doing? No.
Does she come inside?
No.
She's a
Yeah,
little
we got
confused. She's like, "What's this? Are we gonna party? What's going on here?"
Yeah. Oh, it's gonna be killer.
No.
She follows Augustyn.
Cool. As soon as she's inside, I drain her.
Okie doke.
absolutely every drop of blood in her body, fill myself back.
Now we have a dead body in the house.
Well, he needs the blood to grow his hand back.
We
or
don't keep the
whatever.
trash in here. We throw it out.
Put it in the garbage disposal. It's fine.
just piece by piece, like the. Yeah, no, I definitely just straight drain her.
You're back up to 14 blood. You're feeling quite full. She is down to no blood.
Oh, man.
She's not doing so well.
I mean...
Hey man.
Did he hide it somewhere?
In a day full of losses, just saying, Augustyn gets 1 W. I'm alright with this.
Rolled a 10. You earned it.
Extremely lucky.
All right, and everyone unloads the car. What's your plan for that there body? By the
Yeah,
way,
you
she
deal with
tasted
it.
like
Is-
she tasted like chewing tobacco and
Is
super
there-
cheap vodka.
Honestly, I intend to otherwise shave her down into organic fertilizer.
Is there anything to be said for the garbage disposal?
Small enough chunks.
My good man, we have a blender. But yes, no. With what I can do with one hand, I plan to just shave her down to literally fleshy fertilizer for some of my more nefarious plant projects.
Now, by shave, you mean
Compost.
like use a knife to like pulp up her body? Okay, gross. And on that super dark note,
Nobody liked it. Yeah.
let's bring this session to a close.
Oh, my God.
Yikes.
Got a lot done. Got a little murdering in. That was nice.
We did.
A
We did
little
get a
bit.
little last minute murdering in.
Murder and a half.
I'm gonna try to squeeze in a murder if you guys don't mind. Oh,
I know, that was the pit stop. Squeezing a murder.
and since murder is
Squeezing a murder.
debatably an unethical thing to do, Augustyn, we will need a conscience roll from you. You have somehow a conscience of 4, so roll 4 dice to find out whether any small part of you feels guilty about what just happened.
Come on.
Oh, yeah, you feel super guilty. That's, all successes. So you are overwhelmed with a sense of guilt, not in any way that has any mechanical effects, but for a long time you're thinking about that woman and how she probably had a super hard life. It's more likely than not that she had some neglected children at home that aren't gonna see their mother again, and it kind of weighs on you a bit. Consequently, you do not lose any humanity from this inhumane thing that you did.
I feel like a character output of this would be, instead of using her fleshy pulp mulch on like a more actually nefarious green path thaumaturgical ritual, I use it to feed some like strangely brutal looking but otherwise beautiful and exotic flowers.
Okay.
Wait, what happened to your bear? I can't remember.
The
Is
bear-
someone watching it?
He's downstairs.
Yeah, the bear's just kind of like
Oh,
locked
right,
up
right.
in a room. All right. Would anyone like to spend any of their experience points, starting with Archibald?
No, I'm good. I'm going to save him.
Okay, you have 10 at the moment. What about Augustyn? You have 16.
I have not bought a point of subterfuge this campaign, have I?
That is correct. You have not.
If I were plotting to do something long-term, overarching, and insanely insidious, would subterfuge be a good...
Subterfuge allows you to convincingly lie and also makes it more likely for you to notice when other people are lying.
I am absolutely putting a point in subterfuge.
Your 4th dot of subterfuge is going to cost 6 points.
Cool. Yeah, that's all I need.
All right. Darby, you have 9 points.
Well, allow me to ask again, and I think I hopefully know the answer to this. Have we achieved any progress-related experience? Because that will influence my choice. I know we did a lot of things today, achieved some milestones, including a quest turn in, so to speak.
You know,
to the Nuker Tech guys.
I was kind of on the fence about it, but I think given that this was a quest that began many sessions ago, and you finally got around to doing it, despite it being a relatively easy quest to pull off, I suppose
we did so much preparing for it, even though it wasn't challenging.
Yeah. Having the initiative to do it, I suppose, deserves a little bit of praise. Everybody gets 1 additional experience point for completing this quest, giving Darby 10 points to spend.
Which is exactly enough for the first level of Auspex, provided I can convince Excavo to teach it. So that is up to you. I think we've been kind of partnering up in the last couple of sessions, wheeling and dealing, and so Darby's like kind of trying to turn into a planless combat monster, and I think heightened sense would really help.
All right, so yeah, that is in fact 10 points.
That monster.
I'll let you buy it immediately because heightened senses is a kind of discipline that I think it's fair to imagine it like coming on gradually. Let's say you have the beginning of it now, and presumably you and Excavo spend some time going over how heightened senses work. It's hard to imagine how to teach someone to hear better, but
here's how I kind of imagine it. I thought she might notice some of the negative aspects of it, like Darby, like hearing something, like being annoyed,
learning how to focus.
Yeah, sharp sounds, and her like getting a smug sense of superiority about it. Like, oh, why are you letting that bother you? You know, and like sort of teaching him by put down almost. Like
I'm mostly teaching him by bragging about myself.
Yeah, exactly. By being so smug about your own ability that Darby's just like, okay, well, fine, I'll just do it like that. You know, just like kind of a snotty, reactive reaction to you knowing what he's going through. I think that's sort of how I...
Okay. Well, you have heightened senses, assuming that the two of you continue working on, like directly working on, like training together.
Let's say I'm fine if we divvy them out like over time. Like so
each of the senses?
Yeah. So we thought of like hearing. This time, maybe that's the first one that Darby has, like, kind of click in, and he'll develop his sense over time. We can roleplay that out.
It is worth noting that you will need to drink a point of Excavo's blood for her to be able to convey this to you. I think that was also the case with Archibald and Darby.
I have 10 blood points right now. I'm fine with that.
I will note a level 1 blood bond to...
Okay, so Excavo is just down 1 blood. We'll say that happens around now. That doesn't need to be a scene. And also, that means Darby is up 1 more blood point, giving him a full blood pool.
I'll look at that.
Yeah.
You look.
Okay, and that brings us to Excavo. You have 9 points that you can spend.
I'm trying to think, like, from what I had just negotiated... What would that amount to? Would it be like a point of like intimidation? Would it be? There's not like a persuasion, but
manipulation.
So I already have 4 points of manipulation. Like it's already
5 is
pretty
better.
good.
I mean, subterfuge is also like part of what you're doing. We've been
subterfuge.
Lying
I have
to people.
I have 4 points there too.
Well, that one's cheaper. I mean, you could get that one for 12.
It'd be 3 times level, so that's still 12 to increase that one.
Other fun things that you can increase. You can get the second dot of dominate.
You know?
You guys have a lot of cool discipline powers that haven't really been used yet. Like Excavo can turn invisible, and that hasn't come up.
Is that obfuscate? Because I have 2 points in that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll do a dominate point. Let's do that. So now I have 4.
The 3rd level of dominate is useful as...
Is that forgetful mind?
The same way in this rule set?
Yeah, the 2nd level of dominate lets you give people if I remember right, complex commands and commands that they don't do immediately, but they do at some point in the future after a trigger.
Like a sleeper agent.
Exactly.
That's
like
cool.
the bad guy
Okay.
in season 1 of Jessica Jones. Kilgrave.
Ooh, such a good villain.
Oh man, terrifying.
David Tennant acted the hell out of that role.
It was really, really high
He
quality.
acts the hell out of any role. I love David.
True.
The best of that, that mini Marvel.
Well,
That
So
season
yeah,
was
that's what I'll do.
fantastic.
what does everyone think that their characters are going to want to do in the next session?
I'm not sure when we scheduled that chess match.
That is
But I
for
think
That's pretty high on our.
that chess match
Like
is
we
going to be
scheduled
on
it for a particular day.
yes, Saturday, and it's currently
Yeah.
Sunday, so it's
Oh,
going.
wait, so we have like a whole
It's
in-game
ways
week.
away.
Yeah.
Okay,
You gonna
so,
practice chess in the meantime?
Have been. I'm ready.
Got the chess app.
Oh yeah.
My out of
Everybody's
character goal
everybody's
is to
doing it
continue
now
to
that Queen's
give
Gambit
Jade
came out.
space, hope that she comes back, and just put my resources into tricking out the elk. So I think my first priority is getting it un-driver's edited. So getting it like fitted with factory pedals and steering console and stuff like that. That's what I'm working on at the outset.
Okay. Reminder about unresolved plot threads. There's Swamp Thing. There's
Yeah.
the suggestion
Still not
of
sitting around,
dealing
yeah.
with River Erickson, the gangrel who like maybe went feral and has been draining people to death. What kind of monster would do that?
That I think is why we get the weapons.
The former sheriff mentioned in his note that Sabat were moving in and might have some territory in the city.
There's the medics, the ambulance people.
And there's the paramedics.
I thought we were gonna use a bat signal, lure people to a place, or do something.
We had
like-
a sting operation sort of deal, a trap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We just wanted to get
What-
MKT first.
What that discussion was the question was, what do you do if the ambulance is following you again? And where you kind of landed on that was, how about we go to Delacroix's warehouse and then like drive into it and close the doors and then just like get out and have a brawl. And no one seemed to question the idea of Delacroix having a warehouse, which had not actually been mentioned up until that point when Leslie Lane suggested it.
There might be things to learn
okay.
about there as well.
Yeah, let's go to the warehouse. There's probably some tech there because there's someone's got something.
So I think we have a
I'm-
plan A
yeah.
that we prepare
We all
to
have
be
our
interrupted
stuff.
with the plan B of the warehouse if we run into the paramedics. So the paramedics are plan B. The warehouse chases plan B. What's plan A? The chess message is in the future. So
yeah, swamp thing
Swamp
with
Thing?
with our other friend, probably.
I don't know how significant the file is that I have to decrypt.
You won't know until you've done it.
So that would be. So I'd want to get more tech to decrypt that file. Probably do more surveillance, especially on paramedic, if that's relevant. That's kind of what I would be.
Well, if you have a laptop, if you have any computer, you can start the process of trying to decrypt it. And then you could just add more computing power to that as you go along. All right, cool.
Yeah,
Well, I
think we want to fight Swamp Thing.
Last quick question and comment. Do I remember correctly that you said I have to show up every day for 1 hour at the Chantry for the next week?
for the next week.
For the next 7 days. So effectively the next 2 months worth of our session.
Sure.
Okay, and in the meantime, I'm supposed to be writing notes.
Yeah, you still have control over that hand and you can see and hear through it. So at any point in your idle time, you can just sort of use that hand to start scribbling down notes.
And is there any sense of urgency? Do I feel the need to write it in scribbled fast urgency, or can I feign ignorance and very slowly right words.
I mean, it's not like anyone's like whipping the hand if it gets too slow. You're just kind of left to do whatever you're going to do.
My hand very brutally slowly starts writing out an unnecessarily verbose and complicated explanation of how to use herbal wisdom.
Okay. Dope. All right, good session, everybody. Till next time.
Awesome. Yeah, see you next
All right.
time.
Peace
Thanks,
out.
everyone.
Love you guys. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.